Are you looking for the best Apple laptops? In this video we will look at some of the 7 best Apple laptops on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description, so make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Number 1. Apple MacBook Pro 14 M3 2023. The best Apple laptop we've tested is the Apple MacBook Pro 14 M3 2023. This late 2023 model comes only 9 months after its M2 predecessor, sporting Apple's new M3 socks. The M3 Pro/Max chips bring even better performance and can easily handle the most challenging tasks like video editing and 3D graphics. There are also new features, including hardware-accelerated ray tracing, AV1 decoding, and increased memory support up to 128 GB. Also new is the addition of a base M3 configuration, which can be a great option if you don't need a lot of processing power but still want the Pro features like the mini LED display and upfiring speakers. There are some downsides with the base M3 model, though, as it has one fewer USB-C port and only supports a single external monitor. Except for a new space black color, nothing else has changed design-wise. You still get an exceptionally well-built device with a comfortable keyboard, an industry-leading haptic touchpad, and great-sounding speakers. The display is still a 120Hz mini LED display with full DCI-P3 coverage, it just gets slightly brighter to combat glare. Battery life has improved, lasting over 15 hours of light use, which is enough to get you through a full day, maybe even 2, depending on your workload. If you need more screen space and don't mind a larger, more costly device, the Apple MacBook Pro 16 M3 2023 is also an excellent choice. It's identical to its 14-inch sibling but with better-sounding speakers. Number 2. Apple MacBook Air 13 2022. If you only perform light tasks like text processing, web browsing, and video playback, get the Apple MacBook Air 13 2022 instead, one of the best MacBooks we've tested and the successor to the popular Apple MacBook Air 13 M1 2020. This model sports a new design, a slightly larger and brighter display, a better 1080p webcam, and a faster M2 SoC. Like most MacBooks, it has a spacious keyboard and a gigantic haptic touchpad. Battery life is excellent at around 10 to 11 hours of light use. Another addition to this M2 model is Apple's MagSafe charging port, which connects magnetically and detaches easily to prevent the laptop from getting pulled off a table if you trip on the cable. The main downside is that it's still limited to 2 USB-C ports with support for a single external display. If you want a bigger screen, Apple has released a 15-inch model, the Apple MacBook Air 15 2023. It's the same device as the 13-inch model but with a 15.3-inch display and better speakers. Performance is also near identical, although its battery life is slightly shorter at around 8 hours of light use. It costs $200 more than the 13-inch model. Number 3. Apple MacBook Air 13 M1 2020. If you want to spend as little as possible, you can still buy the older Apple MacBook Air 13 M1 2020. It's also among the best MacBook Airs Apple has produced and the first to have an Apple-made chip inside. Often on sale at around $750, this is hands down the best value laptop you can get. It feels as premium as the pics above, so you're still getting an exceptionally well-built device that provides a great user experience. As for performance, its M1 SoC is starting to fall behind more recent chips on the market but is still plenty fast for general productivity tasks like web browsing, text processing, and video playback. It still receives OS updates, so you can install macOS Sonoma and get all the new features like desktop widgets. What makes the buying decision a bit more complicated is that Apple lowered the price of the 13-inch M2 MacBook Air when the 15-inch model launched, bringing it to only $100 more than the M1 model. If you can afford to spend more, it's worth going with the M2 model. You get a nicer design, a larger and brighter display, a higher resolution webcam, and better performance. It also has a MagSafe charging port, which frees up a USB-C port for a peripheral or external monitor. However, the M1 MacBook Air is still a great choice if you're on a tight budget.